What's going on, Fight Family? So today I'm going to be talking about how Canelo Alvarez beats Terence Crawford on September 13th, 2025 in Las Vegas. And this is a follow-up to a video I did a little over a month ago where I talked about how Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez. I told you all that I will be doing a follow-up video to look at the other side of things. And I also did my prediction video. So if you all want to see who I picked to win the fight, you can see the prediction. This is not a prediction video. I know this is going to go over some people's heads because they've seen my prediction video already. But my channel is all about my opinions, unbiased. I'm no fanboy of anyone like some people are on here. I just look at the evidence I'm presented with and put forth my best case. So let's look at how Canelo beats Terence Bud Crawford. So we know Terence Crawford is going up to 168 pounds. He only had one fight at 154 pounds against Israel Majumov in August of 2024. And now he's jumping up two more weight classes to face Canelo, who is the younger fighter. And normally in these situations, when the smaller fighter goes up to fight the bigger fighter, when they're both great, the bigger fighter wins. History tells us that. So that's going to be step number one. Canelo Alvarez size. He is too big for Terence Bud Crawford. He's already comfortable at the weight. Canelo has also went up to fight at 175 pounds. So he's fought bigger guys. He's taken on much heavier punchers than Terence Bud Crawford. So the size difference is going to be a huge barrier for Terence Crawford to overcome. In addition to that, Canelo Alvarez has went up against some of the hardest punchers in boxing. Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev. Like, he's went up against big punchers and none of these guys have dropped him. They've never wobbled him or anything. So Canelo Alvarez can take a serious punch. Now, another way that Canelo Alvarez beats Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford's punches will not be able to phase Canelo Alvarez and stop him from coming forward. He's essentially going to be able to walk through Terence Crawford's power. Then Canelo Alvarez is going to be able to work the body of Terence Crawford, break him down later rounds of the fight. This is Terence Crawford's first fight at 168. His legs may not be able to hold up later in the fight. He may start to sense some fatigue. And once that happens, Canelo can capitalize and look to really put a hurting on Bud or potentially stop Terence Crawford. Now, Terence Crawford has never been dropped. He doesn't even have a loss. So, of course, he's never been stopped. So, dropping him, I don't see that happening. But if he starts to get tired later in the fight due to the weight and Canelo working his body, then anything can happen. And it is boxing. He is going up against the strongest guy that he's ever faced in his career. So that's something to say about that. Now, I know Terence Crawford is top three pound for pound right now. Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing, though. So when we think of it like that, I'm looking at another key here. So in order to win a decision against Canelo Alvarez, you have to make it a one-sided fight. And I don't know if there's anybody in boxing right now outside of Dimitri Bivol. And when Dimitri Bivol beat Canelo, that was a one-sided fight. All three judges had scorecards of 115 to 113 for Dimitri Bivol. That means they gave him one round more than Canelo Alvarez in a dominating performance. When Canelo fought Floyd Mayweather, Floyd destroyed Canelo. One judge had it a draw, so Floyd Mayweather won a majority decision against Canelo Alvarez. My point is, Bud Crawford has to dominate Canelo, and I don't think that he can dominate Canelo to get all three judges to rule in his favor for a decision unless he drops Canelo, which Canelo has never been dropped. So I do not see that happening probably ever in Canelo's career, considering that it hasn't happened yet. Now, another path to victory for Canelo Alvarez is Canelo's counterpunching. So there's going to be exchanges in the fight where these guys are going to be in the center of the ring. They're going to exchange. It might not happen early. Both guys will fill each other out to start the fight. But when we start getting around that fourth, fifth round, these guys are going to start to test each other, and they're going to try to show who's better. Now, if they're exchanging shots, Canelo Alvarez is the bigger man. He is the bigger puncher. He is going to have more power and velocity behind his punches, and he is used to fighting at this weight. I believe that they are in a situation where they get in an exchange, then he can hurt Terence Crawford off of the exchange. Now, even though we have not seen Terence Crawford drop before, we have seen him wobbled and hurt before against smaller fighters. So common sense would tell us, like, okay, if smaller fighters can hurt you, then Canelo Alvarez can certainly hurt you and buzz you. He may not drop you, but he can make you definitely feel his presence to where you do not want to exchange with him. So Canelo Alvarez, I think that he's going to be applying pressure this fight, and that's going to be very interesting to see if Bud decides to, engage more, or if he decides to fight an Erislan De Lara type fight and move more, look to counter, look to be first, and look to angle off. So these are the paths to victory that I see for Canelo Alvarez, the larger fighter fighting Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford's moving up. Canelo Alvarez has all of the advantages in this fight, as he should, because he is the A side. Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing. So there's no rehydration clause. Who knows how big Canelo Alvarez is going to come in on fight night. So if Canelo Alvarez is coming in, let's say 180 pounds, like, how is Terence Crawford going to deal with that? How is he going to keep him off of him? And how is he going to deal with the power of Canelo Alvarez? Because there's only so much moving that you can do before Canelo is able to catch you and you all get in an exchange. We saw that with Bivol. Bivol is an excellent mover. He's at 175 pounds. He's the bigger fighter. But Canelo still made it to where he cut down the ring at times and they got in an exchange, which I see him and Bud getting in an exchange, even if Bud decides to move around a lot, because Canelo does know how to cut down the ring and cut off the ring at angles. He just does not like facing movers, and he's been vocal about that. But I think with everything on the line for this fight, I think we're going to see Canelo Alvarez at his best. We're going to see Terence Bud Crawford at his best. So this is going to be an epic matchup because both guys are fighting for something here. Bud Crawford is fighting to have his legacy cemented, like, forever, like be one of the greatest ever. And Canelo Alvarez, we can argue that his legacy is already cemented, but he's putting a lot on the line by facing Terence Crawford, because if he loses to the smaller guy, the older guy that's moving up in weight, what are people going to say about Canelo Alvarez being the greatest Mexican boxer of all time? So he's putting a lot on the line here. So as I said at the beginning of the video, this is me looking at the other side of things. This is me not being biased. Yes, I have my pick for the fight, and you all can check out that video. But just because I have a pick for the fight does not mean I do not see a path to victory for both fighters. It's boxing. A lot can happen. And this is a fight where Canelo Alvarez is the favorite. Canelo Alvarez should be the favorite for this fight. And up until about 3 or 4 days ago, I was picking Canelo Alvarez to win this fight because I did not see a path to victory for Terence Crawford. So it took me watching a lot of film. And then when I started seeing like more recent fights, that's when I'm like, okay, we can look at both sides of the thing. Because at first I was like, Terence Crawford doesn't stand a chance. He's too small. But then I'm thinking, okay, Terence Crawford is very competitive in everything he does. Like, he's not coming to the fight to just lay down. So let's really analyze these things. But again, this is the path to victory for Canelo Alvarez. Let me know down in the comment section below, who is your pick to win the fight? And also, how do you see Canelo Alvarez winning the fight? Regardless if you're picking Canelo to win or if you're picking Bud to win, let's try to be unbiased here and see the path to victory for both fighters. So that way we can enjoy the fight. And then, yes, we're going to have who we want to win. We're going to have who we pick to win. And we can root on them that night. But let's open up a good boxing debate here. All right, I appreciate all the support. Channel is growing. Please, if you are seeing this video, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.